Hey Elsa, this is George with Underdog Leads, and in this video I'm going to show you 3 things you can do today to help bring in more customers to your business. Most likely you're sitting there asking yourself, why would I be doing this and what's in it for me? Well, you're lucky because I read minds and the answer is education. Oftentimes in the world of the internet, most local businesses actually are too busy running their own business and they don't have the time to learn how the internet can benefit them and their company. Sometimes the only hesitation they have to hiring someone is they don't know who's an expert and who isn't. So I've actually found that by giving people these free attack plans of actual things they can do to impact their business for free, it's resulted in some of those business owners actually raising their hands and saying, I like you, George, please do this for me. So by the end of the video, you like what you heard, and you can see that I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve that can help your business with all these services, all these remodeling services. Shoot me a message back and we can chat. Or at the end of the video, if you just like what I'm saying, you just want to take this free attack plan and run with it and do it yourself, that works for me too. So now, let me show you 3 things that will set your company above the competition and not waste any more of your time or mine. So the first thing I want to go over is content. You guys need at least 1,500 words to be optimized with Google. You guys have about, it says 1,000 words, but I knocked some off because some of this isn't actually considered the SEO title content that you need. Like services, client testimonials. See, this is kind of just filler text. So I'd probably say it has about 800, maybe 700 words. The competition, let's look at their site. These guys have 418. But the reason they're doing well is actually the structure of their site. So let me show you something. So there's an entire structure to sites and backends that a lot of people don't know about. Now this requires a little bit of code, but there's a structure for the headers. Headers are the structure I was talking about. H1s are the main header. This is what your overall site's going to be known for. Yours is why work with OnPoint for your next residential or commercial remodeling project. You have multiple H1s, client testimonials, in need of a fabulous home. So none of this says the location that you're serving, and it doesn't necessarily say what you're doing. It says OnPoint, which is good, but this is one of the biggest things that's going to affect you, your structure of your site. H2s are topics of that. Your SEO title. Now, SEO title is not this. SEO title is something you can play with on the back end. It is OnPoint Woodwork and Remodeling. Now, although you do want to have your name here so people can see you, on your SEO title, you're going to want it to be something that says something like this. So, Cypress Custom Home Remodeling. That is what's going to rank you up. You don't have a description. It says OnPoint Woodwork and Remodeling. It should describe what your site is actually doing. Okay? Now, this is why these guys are doing better. Because look at their SEO title. Now, look at their description. They kind of talk about it. Their H1, Cypress Custom Home Remodeling. Their structure is kind of jacked up, but at the same time, it's structured in a way that it's still better and it still works a lot more efficiently than most of the other people. Next thing I want to talk about is backlinks. So a backlink is like a vote from another site. In the search engine's eyes, it actually gives you a lot of credibility. So an example of a backlink is if a news station were to write like a 500-word article, and in that article they have a link that goes to your site. And in the search engine's eyes, this is saying, like, hey, go try these guys out. You get credibility. Not all backlinks are created equal. Some have more value. Some are more authoritative. Those are the ones you want. But you only have one. So that's one of your biggest issues as well. These guys have 160. So you can see exactly why they're popping up more than you are. Now, this is just for Cypress, Texas. If you wanted to, I know it's like not far from Houston, you can actually target Houston. And if there's specific jobs you like, keywords are not hard to rank for. If you wanted to do something like home remodeling, kitchen remodeling, any type of remodeling, so I'm sure you guys actually do it all just off the pictures. But what you're really going to want to do is start ranking for these keywords. And that, in turn, will bring you a lot more traffic, which will give you a lot more clients. Lastly, I want to talk about the maps. So, the maps, they're affected by content and backlinks as well, but it's not as big of a factor when it comes to ranking these. So the biggest factor is something called a citation. A citation is a listing in a directory that has your name, address, and phone number. So whenever I do these, I always do 300 to 400 listings. If you know that you've actually personally put 300 to 400 listings yourself, then you shouldn't have nothing to worry about. But at the same time, you would be popping up in here. So, with that being said, if you do that, you'll beat these guys by a landslide with sheer numbers, and you'll start popping up. And that's where 30% of the traffic actually comes from. 90% of the traffic stays on the first page. So, with all that being said, I want to recap on the 3 things that we're talking about. Content, you need 1,500 words of topic relevant content. You really need to fix the structure of your site. That is one of the biggest things that's going to hurt you. But you also need a little more content. Next, backlinks. These are the votes from other sites I was talking about. If they write an article, if somebody else like a news station writes an article about you guys and they have a link in that article that sends people to you, that's a backlink. Citations, 300 to 400 listings in directories with your name, address, and phone number, and it'll leverage the factors that get considered for your map rankings. So if you like what I'm saying and you want to talk more, reach me at my email. It's george@underdogleads.com. Website is underdogleads.com. I'm going to put my phone number at the bottom of the email as well, so feel free to reach out whenever you have the chance. Have a good one.